11 inches, and we have 5 things. You can't divide 11 by 5. This is too hard. I can't do it. But anyway, somewhere around 1.5, like a little under. I'm just marking the center-ish, approximately under where 1.5 inches would be. It's okay if it's off by a little bit. I keep saying over and over again how easy and lenient this is. You can be off by like a significant amount and it won't start to look weird. Wait, I'm lost. I got lost. There were too many little buttons. So I'm gonna have to do 6 buttons. How did that happen? I nudged it up closer to the 2 inch rather than 1 inch, 1.5 inches. Ah! I did it. Does that look about even? I think so. This one's a little lower, but I don't want to squeeze a button like right there. It would look odd. Actually, you know what? I don't know why I started all the way down there. I should have started from this direction. But I already wrote I already made all the marks. Now there's gonna be 2 marks, I'm gonna get confused. Oh. Whatever. It's fine, it's fine! The pencil marks will come out. I mean, they're barely visible to begin with, and I'm only seeing them because I'm looking for them. And they'll also come out in the wash. Let's see. Now I grab, here's my pincushion that I've been using, and I have a little hand sewing needle right in the rose. And let's see, I need thread. Where's the thread? I have this. Sorry. Here's all my thread, my like hand sewing thread. This is actually embroidery floss. And I guess I should use my same sewing thread that I have in the machine, but it's so thin, you have to, like, use a lot of it, like go over the same stitches 10 billion times. And you know what? This part is boring, because I'm just going to be making little stitches by hand. And also I have to split a new piece of white thread for me. I can explain how embroidery floss works. So when you're embroidering and also making little stitches like this purpose today, embroidery floss has 6 strands to it. So what you do is you find the end. We don't need 6 strands, that's too thick for what we need. So you start like rolling it in the wrong direction, and the strands will start to like come undone because they're just wrapped around each other. If you start unwrapping them, they start to come apart. And having long fingernails is really useful for this because you can just kind of like poke your way through there. So I divided it 3 pieces on one side, 3 pieces on the other side. And we're splitting it, sorry, I'm making sure the camera's getting it. And we're just splitting it, and we're just going to split it all the way down. Just grab it. Back up the camera, because it's getting harder to capture things. So I'm just unwinding it and splitting it. It's all very exciting. I usually just hook a finger under there and pull it all the way down. It got all knotty at the end. It's stuck. I did it. Haha, haha, 2 pieces. We started with 1 piece, now we have 2. And then you start twisting each piece the right way again to wrap it up again. And I'm just twisting with my fingers. And one of those, let's do this one that I just did, is going to get folded in half and then put right back on my thread holder for use at another time. You just poke it through the hole and then pull it through and bam, it's attached. Blammo! And this was the second piece that I have not wrapped up again. We are wrapping. Good times. Alright. Where'd my needle go? Here it is. Now I do the thing where you put it in your mouth. Or you can get a little bit of spit on your fingers and you kind of straighten it out. And that helps it through. It helps hold those 3 strands together when you put it through the needle. Ah! The eye of the needle, which I'm having trouble with. I can show off this other cool thing that I have. I can do it by hand. But why would I do that? Whoops. Well, if I can't find it, then it's all for nothing. Oh, I can't find it. I have too many small items. I was gonna find my cute, so it's shaped like a heart, my little needle threader that helps you pull needles through needle eyes. But I could not find it, and so I could not show it off for you, and now I just have to by hand. I did it though. Here's my needle. I pulled it through. Yay! So, let's see, I'm trying to figure out how to put this in the camera all the way. You don't like double it up, like one side of the thread ends there and the other one is way longer all the way down here. I can show you a super sneaky way to put a knot at the end. What you can, okay, here's the needle end. I'm putting this end over here so I don't lose it. This is the unneedled end. You can, like, tie this in a knot, but that gets really hard when you're sewing a lot and you're trying to make these really tiny knots all the time. It's really exhausting, it's really hard on your fingers to make a lot of tiny knots. Just take my word for it, you just don't want to make knots all the time. So here's a really fast way to make a knot at the end. I'm gonna even this out a little bit more. And I hope that the camera can catch me doing all of this. Here's the needle, here's the end that we want to have a knot at the end. You kind of just pinch it in your fingers. This is the end of the, I'll use like an excess of it to show it. So I'm holding both the needle and the end of the thread, and then you just wrap the thread around like 4 or 5 times. So it looks like my fingernails covering all of it, because I got long nails. So it just looks like this. And then you smush it all down. So now all of that is pinched in my fingers, the wrap that we just made. And then you pull it down the thread. That's just the little, we wrapped it around the needle a few times, and we're just pulling it down the thread in our pinched fingers. And when we're done, there's a knot there. And I could have done that closer to the edge, because we kind of ended up with a lot of excess. You kind of want it closer to the edge so that you have as much thread to work with as you can get. But just for demonstration purposes, that much was fine. Oh, I have Bardguo asking me, am I American? Yes, I am. I live in the New England area of the United States. Let's see, I'm trying to poke this through at the bottom. I'm just trying to line it up with one of the little buttonholes. It's a little tough. I did it. And there's a couple ways you can sew through buttons. We could go vertically and make two parallel lines going vertically, or you could do two parallel horizontal lines, or you could make a little X. And I actually kind of like the X, so we're just going to go diagonally across from the one that I just sewed through. And then through the other hole. And I'm just kind of alternating which holes I'm going through. I hope that the little white thread is showing up on there. Oh, I could have used a blue thread for this, couldn't I? That way it would blend it in with the blue button. I keep getting lost. So there's not much fun or excitement to this part. It's going to be just poking through these buttons. But you know what? That's going to be the finishing part of this top. After I do these buttons, I'm going to say that I'm finished with this. So I'm pretty much done at this point. I mean, it's wearable. We could throw it on if we wanted to, but it just wouldn't have the buttons on it yet. I keep getting lost and not being able to poke through the holes. What time is it? It is 3:30. And since there's not much left to this at this point, I think I hope this isn't too disappointing. I'm gonna stop now. Just stop streaming. And I'm sure you can guess when this is finished, it's gonna look like this. But until then, here's the top that I made today. Check it out. Little buttons. How cool is that? We made something neat today. And it will hang up in my closet after this. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna take a little breaky break. I hope that you guys had fun. It was awesome talking to a lot of you.